Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to a new episode of the Digino series. This episode will be featuring Nocturne. If you end up enjoying this video, please don't forget to throw in a like. But without much further ado, let us go straight into his abilities. Nocturne's passive can apply on-hit effects, such as critical strike or lifesteal, but it will only apply to his main target. Even though attacking structures will still work towards reducing Nocturne's passive cooldown, the passive itself will never actually activate on structures. If Nocturne's Q hits an invisible target, it will not actually reveal that target, but the trail of the Q will still follow that target, giving away their position. Wind Wall will stop the Q from going any further, but if already hit, the trail will not fade if the target walks through the Wind Wall. And on top of this, if Braum blocks the Duskbringer, the trail will still apply to him even though he prevents the damage. If Nocturne has Banshee's Veil and activates his W while absorbing a spell, it seems Banshee's Veil will now have priority and his W will not get activated. Shroud of Darkness, which is Nocturne's W ability, has 0 cast time, which is perfect when chasing or running. Spell Shield will block Nocturne's Q, the initial activation of his E, but not the fear if already applied, and only the initial cast of Nocturne's ultimate, which means the darkness part will be blocked, but Nocturne can still actually fly over to that target. Much like his W, his E also has no cast time, since its primary use is when chasing or running away. If already applied, the tether will not break if someone like Vladimir uses his Pool, or Fizz uses Trickster. Did you know that Nocturne's ultimate has precedence over all other types of vision granting abilities or even items? In this example, you can see that the Clairvoyance and TF ultimate have 0 effect. Apparently, if Paranoia is active, which is Nocturne's ultimate, Shen cannot ult allies he has no vision of, even when using the named portraits at the left. But if he does have vision of that target, then he is able to use the ultimate. Alright guys, let us go into some cool facts and lore about Nocturne. Nocturne was designed by someone named Ezreal, who of course also made Ezreal, Ahri, Nasus, Teemo, and also many more. His voiceover was done by someone named Jason Wishnov. Did you know that Nocturne is a Latin word which is derived from nox or noctis, which means night and nightly? On top of that, in French, the word nocturne can refer to a musical composition inspired by the night, or can be used as an adjective to describe living things that are mainly active at night. Nocturne was also the first champion that was highlighted and previewed at a large event, namely PAX East 2011. He was also sneak peeked by IGN, a rare case to happen. Paranoia, which is of course Nocturne's ultimate, used to be the name of Fiddlestick's old passive, which would cause enemy champions to miss on their attacks occasionally. A popular connection made with Nocturne is Zed, as there are many speculations of the relationship between the two champions. I have actually made a video talking about this connection as well, which you can click on the video now to see it. It is actually pretty interesting. From this, let's go into his lore. It mentions how a rash of sleep-related incidents began afflicting summoners of the League, getting more and more serious until a field architect passed out next to a nexus on the Twisted Tree line. He screamed once, and then out of nowhere, Nocturne appeared. Nocturne began a killing spree until summoners were finally able to magically confine him. Unsure of how to deal with him, since they assumed death will only bring Nocturne back to the place from which he came, they bound him to a Nexus fragment. As punishment, they allowed summoners to summon him during battles, binding Nocturne forcefully to their will. Some theorize that Nocturne might be a person's nightmare that came to life, but the question is, whose? Nocturne's lore seems somewhat relatable to Freddy Krueger, who also hunts people within their sleep. Nocturne and Cho'Gath share a very similar quote.
Afraid of the dark. Afraid of the dark. Lies.
Eternum Nocturne's quote.
We alone seem to win. Now none can stop. It was a trick.
References to the League meme of Spin to Win. When playing Nocturne against Graves, if Graves ever uses Smokescreen on Nocturne, he has one of 2 special quotes that he will say.
Who's in the dark now? I got you, darkness.
An online poll had the color of his Dustbringer changed in the haunting Nocturne skin. This skin's artwork was used for the login screen of the Harrowing of 2011, a Halloween event. Eternum Nocturne's spells seem somewhat similar to how the spells of the Battlecast skins would look. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Nocturne. If you did end up enjoying it, please don't forget to throw in a like and share it with your friends. You can also suggest what champion you would like to see in the next episode, or if you have any interesting theories that I should go over. I'd also appreciate it if you guys would follow me on my Facebook and Twitter fan page, both Redmercy LOL. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you next time. Peace.